Hey, just take a look around you for a second. The chair you're on, your phone, the lights. Where did it all come from? Well, that's what we're digging into today. We're going to uncover this hidden world of natural resources that, literally builds and powers our lives. And it all kicks off with a little bit of a mystery.
Okay, so let's jump right in with a puzzle. Check out this forest. The way these trees have been cut, it looks kind of random, right? But I can promise you, there is a very specific logic behind this pattern. Let's see if we can piece together the clues and figure out what's really going on here.
Now to solve this, we've got to zoom out a bit. See, when we take something from nature, it's never just that one thing. A single tree isn't just a hunk of wood. It's an anchor holding the soil in place, it's a home for all sorts of animals, and it's a really crucial part of the whole system that keeps our climate in check.
All right, so first things first, we're going to get back to basics. If we're going to understand why we use these resources, we have to be super clear on what they are in the first place and, where we even find them.
So, really, a natural resource is just anything we take from the natural world to use. Super simple, right? It could be something living, like a tree, or non-living, like a rock. It could be solid, or it could be pure energy. I mean, think about the water we drink, the minerals that make up our buildings, or the very forest we're trying to figure out.
And we find these resources literally everywhere. I mean, from the atmosphere, we're pulling in oxygen just to breathe. From the biosphere, that's all the living stuff, we get our food and the wood we build with. The geosphere, that gives us the rocks and minerals for our cities. And of course, the hydrosphere gives us all the water that's so essential for life. It's the whole system.
And here's a wild thought. This whole idea isn't even limited to planet Earth. Our single most important energy source, the sun, is a natural resource that's 93 million miles away. It powers pretty much everything here without even being part of our planet's system. Kind of mind-blowing, right?
Okay, so we've got a handle on what resources are. The next piece of our puzzle is how we use them. And it turns out there are two really different ways we do it.
Yeah, it really just boils down to this simple question. Are we using it to make something, or are we using it to power something? So on one side, you've got your material resources, the stuff you use to build things or to eat. And on the other side, you've got energy resources, which we're using to generate heat or electricity or make things go.
And these material resources they're everywhere. A lot of the time, they're hiding in plain sight. The salt on your fries, the concrete in our buildings, the water from the tap, even something like the plastic in your phone started its life as a fossil fuel. These are the actual physical building blocks of our entire world.
But when we switch over to talk about energy, well, the story that's a whole lot less diverse. Just take a look at this breakdown from the US back in 2014. That huge chunk of the pie chart? Wow, it tells a pretty incredible story about what we depend on.
81%. Seriously, just let that sink in for a second. That one number shows you the absolutely staggering degree to which we rely on just one category of resource, fossil fuels, to power pretty much our entire modern world.
Okay, but this is where things get really interesting. And this is where we find a major clue for our tree mystery. That nice, clean line we drew between material and energy resources? Yeah, that's about to get real blurry.
So think about corn for a second. Is it a material resource or is it an energy resource? Your first thought is probably food, right? A material. But the real answer is a little more complicated, and it's a huge clue for cracking our forest puzzle. The answer, of course, is that it's both and more. Corn is a material resource when we eat it or when we feed it to animals, but it's also processed into biofuel, which is an energy resource. And then it can even become a totally different kind of material when it's used to make things like plastics. It leads this really fascinating double life.
And corn is definitely not the only resource with this kind of double identity. Just think about petroleum. We all know it is fuel for our cars, right? But that exact same raw material is also the starting point for paint, for crayons, candles, and just countless plastics. It's both energy and material, all rolled into one. Okay, I think we have all our clues now. We know what resources are, we know the two ways we use them, and, this is the key, we know that some resources can lead a double life. So it's time. Let's go back to our mystery and solve this thing once and for all.
All right, so here we are back at the beginning. Why this pattern? Well, now we know the key is to stop thinking about these trees as just one single thing. Because just like corn and petroleum, trees are absolutely a resource with a double life. They're a material resource, right? Providing lumber for our houses and pulp for our paper and books.
but they are also an energy resource, burned for heat as firewood or even processed into biofuel.
And that, right there, is our answer. That pattern that looked so random at first, it's not for one single purpose. It's the result of lots of different demands. Some of those trees were destined to become part of a house, others were going to be turned into books, and some were simply headed for a fireplace to keep someone warm. The mystery is solved.
So I want to leave you with this question. Our whole world is built from and powered by these resources. So just take a look around you, right now. Pick one object, anything. Can you trace its hidden journey back? What do you think it started as, and how did it get to you? Because once you start looking for these stories, I promise you will start seeing them absolutely everywhere.